Hey everyone, here I am, Marabelle Blue with a KEM Top Talk reality TV short. Now, as you know, I've been doing a bit of this KEM Top Talk short on Sin City Rules, and tonight was episode 3. Now, I have to tell you that episode 3 was very, very interesting. Um, Like I said, in episode 1, everybody was introduced, and immediately Lana was not portrayed in a very good light. As a matter of fact, it made me question why Ukraine women were so need, to show this strength or empowerment or whatever it was. And the only reason why I say that because I watched another show with a woman who was from the Ukraine, and she actually possessed the same kind of attitude, like there was something to prove as a woman. And I'm not Ukraine, I'm Puerto Rican, so I'm not saying that I don't have anything to prove. However, there just seemed to be some kind of redundancy between these two women and where they come from and how they needed to prove themselves as a woman and being strong or whatever the case may be. So this show started off with Alicia Jacobs, who now I'm starting to believe that she is a lizard. And I could understand why Lana calls her a lizard, because the lizard kind of does the same thing over and over and over again. Not so much the looks, but I've owned a lizard and they really don't do anything but just kind of stare into nothing all day long. So with that being said, it started off with her having lunch with her soon-to-be ex-husband, who's now her best friend in the whole wide world. Okay, so she's talking about Lana, and she's talking about the way she is and how Lana tried to apologize, etc., etc. Now, this is the reason why I switched over to Lana, because even if her apology wasn't sincere, and who knows if it was, the fact of the matter is that the woman did put herself out there and said, look, I'm sorry, let's start all over again. And like a lizard, Alicia just kept harping on the situation, as she did when she was talking to Laurie and Jennifer about it. Now, if you're really sincere about how that person made you feel, you would accept the apology and move on. But this is TV, and who knows, maybe the producers are telling her don't accept her apology. Who knows what we're buying here? I mean, it's fucking reality TV. But the fact of the matter is that this is shit that happens in real life. There are people that harp on shit. I've had people harp on my shit and I didn't even know who the fuck they were. Like, they were living in this glorious land of, they think they had like better things than me, or like they thought they had a better magazine than me, and I'm like, okay, like who the fuck is this person? Who are you? And where did you come from? And needless to say, nobody knows who that person is either. So that makes my world a little bit better. But it's kind of like bullshit like that, where you just have like this person who just comes out of nowhere thinking they are who they are. And you're turning around like, can you go fuck yourself? So that's kind of like the situation with Alicia and Lana. So Amy, now we cut into Amy, who is on a radio show with her mom because her mom wrote a book, and she's supporting her mom in promoting the book. Now the crazy thing about Amy is that not only did she instigate the mere fact that she told Lana that Alicia fools around with married men, and who knows if that's true or not. The fact is that she did tell her that, and that's how Lana chose to judge her, against what Amy had said. So Amy's on this radio show, and she's talking about, her dad, who's not really her dad. Biologically, he wasn't her dad. He was killed when he was 3 years old. And she just seems to have like this weird connection with him, where she talks about her father like she's known him her whole life. The man was killed when she was 3 years old. What are you talking about? I don't get it. Like, I don't get this woman. And she's, well, my dad was this and he was that, and if anybody fucks with me, like the mob and blah blah blah. And it's like, do you know what you're talking about? Because I don't think that this woman has any inkling about the mob or what they consist of who they are. I'm not even going to sit here and say that I know. Clearly, I don't want to know. That's their own world, and fine, so be it. I don't need to be any part of it. But I really can't stand when a person starts running their mouth and they have no idea what the fuck they're talking about. And this is Amy. She's clearly that person of the group. So she's talking about, having a birthday party for her mom. Of course, she's going to invite Alicia. Of course, she's going to invite Lana. And then she has the gall to say, if these bitches ruin my birthday party, there's going to be hell to pay. Bitch, you were the one who started that, right? Stupid. I mean, it's amazing how people just forget certain things. You just instigated an argument between these two women, and then you want to talk about that if they ruin your mom's birthday party, there's going to be hell to pay. It's kind of like on you, because you know that's what's going to happen. So, needless to say, moving on to the most important parts. I think the funny part of the show was Lana's in her office and she's talking with her partner, and they're talking about some boxing match, somebody that they represent, and the other woman is talking about that she calls the other person that the bitch is going down. I guess whoever is going to be boxing against too. And Lana makes a comment about, that there are a lot of bitches that she knows that should go down. And then her assistant comes in to tell her that Alicia's calling, which I think is kind of funny and coincidental that Alicia would call while Lana's saying that. Now, the purpose of Alicia's call was because she wanted to get together with her to kind of make amends as to what happened the other day. And they do have this meeting. Lana calls the meeting, and it's like out in the fucking desert somewhere. And Alicia brings somebody who she considers her best friend and her sister. They kind of like look alike, so I don't know if they're really sisters, whatever. But the woman comes out of the side of her face. She's like, well, you said this and you said that. And here's the one thing that I can't stand about when women get together and like another woman starts pointing fingers and she wasn't even there for the first or the second incident or even the third. So for another party to just come in and chime in and talk about what they think they know they're talking about is completely wrong. The fact of the matter is that Alicia and Lana do not like each other. And I don't think that there's anything in this existence of this world as we know it that will change that. Unless there's something else that's going to happen that I don't know. But it's stupid when you do that. It's just, it doesn't make you look good. And again, like a lizard, Alicia's just, talking and talking and talking, and nothing is really coming out of her mouth other than the redundancy of that, well, you said this and you said that. When you want to make a point about something, the last thing you want to do is say you. It doesn't help anybody. It doesn't make you look good. So nothing was resolved in that meeting. And, Jennifer, they show Jennifer having her little poker stuff and she lost. And apparently her husband is not very happy when she loses a poker game and he gets very upset. It just baffles me how somebody makes a career out of poker. I guess they can. I don't know. I don't play the game. I'm not interested in playing the game. That's not me. And I can admittedly say that. But this is the way the woman makes her money. More power to her. While I find Jennifer a little bit frumpy, I think that she's probably the only one out of the ladies that has the most common sense. Lori owns a cosmetic company with her husband, I guess, and they show them a little bit kind of toying around with little like sayings and stuff like that, and she was busy crying because they came up with a tagline, and she was like all emotional. All right, whatever. um the thing that gets me is that every one of them, I think with the exception of Jennifer, but just every one of them are very good with attacking or talking about destroying or alliance. I can't even say that word. I'm not even going to try and say that word, but they're always talking about destroying one another. And I really can't understand that, because when you want to destroy somebody, you destroy them with your success. And there's a saying that goes with that, and I'm not even going to get into that now because some people just don't even get it. They're too busy wrapped up in their own world. But that's how you destroy people. You destroy people with your own success. You concentrate on yourself. You succeed at what it is that you're trying to do, and don't worry about the other person, because the other person is too busy looking at you. They're destroying themselves all by themselves. They don't need your help. I had to laugh at that because it's so true, and I've seen it happen with plenty of people. They're so busy focused on you, and and trying to walk the road that you're walking on. And I'll tell you right now, nobody, I was telling somebody in an email, people know an inkling about me. A lot of people don't even know the road that I have walked on. Certain people that I've had conversations with on a private level know my road, but most of the people in the world, you don't know shit. You don't even know the beginning, so you're just going to read it in my life story. And I'm not being conceited about it. I'm just speaking the truth that my life was not glamorous. And if it does end up being glamorous, I hope that I could remember exactly where it is that I came from, because it wasn't a pretty place. And I've seen people get into their whole glamour get up, and more power to you. So let's talk about the ending of the episode, which was the birthday party that Amy had with her mom, and how she was griping how, like, these two girls, they better not act up. This is my mother's birthday party, blah, 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 blah. Of course they act up. Of course they started cursing each other out. Now, Lana's sister was there, Natalia. She went off on Alicia, which was very, very funny. She was, like, screaming out profanities and all of this stuff, and Alicia's soon-to-be ex-husband's like, oh, well, just leave them alone. Let them talk, blah, 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 blah. I mean, it's like, these are grown women. Really, grown women. And it's frightening to know that a woman at my age, would probably interact with women like this. I really don't want to. I mean, on a business level, if I have to, okay, fine. But I'm really not one to interact with somebody that I don't care what status you have. I'm not a brown noser. I was never very good at being a brown noser. I'm proud of who I am and where I come from and the things that I do. So to be the opposite of that it's unlike me, and I don't see myself doing it. Like I said, I don't give a fuck who anybody is. It's just amazing how these two women were just acting up and saying the things that they were saying to each other. So in the end, even though it's a reality show and it's trashy and it's about women that nobody really knows, I have really taken to Lana. Why? Well, because she's a woman and she has empowered herself in a variety of ways. She owns several businesses. While I may not agree with some of her or most of her tactics, The fact of the matter is that she is who she is, and I like that about her. And I think it's refreshing to see that. Whereas last week I was like, oh, these women are being depicted. Yes, they are. But if you start looking at everybody individually and not really concentrating on the whole camaraderie of the women together, you can kind of see what each woman has to offer, with the exception of Amy, because I just feel she has absolutely nothing to offer but just being a complete instigator and boo-hooing over a man that she barely knew. Please, I can't even remember my third birthday party. You think I'm going to remember when my father was fucking holding me on his lap and singing me lullaby songs? No. Anyway, that's it for now. 15 minutes. Cut. This is Marabelle Blue, KEM Top Talk Reality TV Short, and I'll see you soon. Peace.